you guys. So I decided to go to Chicago Fashion Week. And I say go because I'm leaving today. And I made my plans, like a week ago. I had my tests like the weekend before, and I was looking at dates, and I was like, you know what? Let me go to Chicago Fashion Week. Like, it's only a 5-hour drive only. And I was going to start my classes the following Wednesday, so I didn't have too much to do, and my work would allow me to be flexible. So I only work 2 days anyway, but I'd only work that Monday and Tuesday when I'm not really going too much, and I would be working from like 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. But it's totally worth it because on both Monday and Tuesday I have events at like 5 or 6, so that's more than enough time. And I was like, you know what? Let me just leave. Let me just go. There's no point of me just laying around the house. All I'm going to be thinking about is how I could have went. And Chicago Fashion Week is not just a week. It's from October 9th until the 20th. Now, of course, like the shows and stuff are more concentrated during the week that I'm going to. But I was like, you know what? Something is better than nothing. And if I'm going to embody being in high demand and getting a lot more jobs than I am now, which, it's okay because the girl's busy and I trust in divine timing, then I need to do what models do, which is go to these events, network, be around people, like-minded people, not just other models, but like photographers and creatives and da 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 da. And I have to apply the same things that I have practiced with accounting, where I'd go to networking, I'd go to conventions, I would make sure to have strong relationships with my professors and other accounting students and XYZ and blah, 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 blah. And I'm reading and watching things. I have to apply the same thing. Like, this isn't a hobby for me, I realize. I realized it's a passion of mine, and I need to treat it like I treat everything else, with the same dedication, the same love, the same desire to have it. So I clearly overpacked just a little. And if you guys don't know, I'm only staying there Sunday through Friday. So I think it's 5 nights. I'm bringing more shoes. I have my lights just in case I have to submit for castings. I haven't even packed my toiletry. These are the socks that I've yet to put in. Umbrella because it's going to rain. I packed, like, in these bags, I'm a little type A, but in these bags, I have outfits for specific events and I have like a sticky note, only because I don't want to have to choose while I'm there what I want to wear. Because, like, I could change my mind and that's fine, but at least I have my initial thought picked out, because who knows, I could be running from place to place, I could get caught up somewhere, and I don't want to have the decision of picking out my clothes stress me out. So I'm only going to 6 events, definitely, right? And I have here like random stuff. I have like my self-tape outfits, like black jeans and a nice black tight shirt. Got some cute stuff, like some basics. And then it's going to be 50 or 60 something degrees. Oh my God, that's going to be so freaking cold. I think, because it's Chicago, right? Like, it's a windy city for a reason. I got bags. I got 3 bags, maybe 4. I don't know how many coats and whatever. It doesn't even matter. I'm packed. I'm trying to be prepared. I want to make sure that when I'm going out, hold on, give me a second. I want to make sure when I'm going out, and I don't have like definite plans that I have outfits to wear out. Like, I don't want to just have it for the events and then I'm stuck home all day. I'll be working on my classwork. Might push it off depending on how heavy it is that week. This week, my bad. I'll be working on my YouTube videos. I have another thing that I'm working on. I'll be, I don't know, reading like something, but I don't want to be stuck in my hotel. I don't know. Hostel. It's a hostel. Whatever. It's a hostel. I don't want to be like stuck there 100% of the time. I want at least to have a place to stay, but I want to make sure I explore the city. So I'll be dragging you guys along with me. So yeah, it's Sunday morning. Gonna go to church, come back, get my stuff together, go to the grocery store, like get some snacks because just like a fridge, whatever. So I want to make sure I'm saving a little money, and then I'll be on the way. All right. See you guys soon. Okay, so I got back from church and I was just rushing, and I feel like I'm sweating because I was trying to get everything together, got my shoes in my car, packed everything up. I triple checked. I'm really, really sure that I have everything. And now I'm just kind of just soaking my feet, right? Because I forgot to do it the other day and I wanted to do my toes, but I was like, you know what? I'll do it once I get there. There's no reason to rush it and like ruin the nail polish. But it just had me thinking about how you often hear people say, in order for you to succeed in something, you have to enjoy the process. And when people said that, I was like, oh, bullshit. Like, this is, I'm not listening to you. Like, nobody wants to do, like, the grunt work for anything, really, right? And I was just thinking about how I am enjoying this process because I'm enjoying soaking my feet. And I already enjoy soaking my feet. It's really nice. But when you think about the other things you have to do, like I had to get my comp card together, and it was really stressful because a lot of places don't have 5.5 by 8.5 dimensions. So I had to go like through Vistaprint. I had to order it immediately, otherwise it would come in on time, which it does. It did. And I have it. And the idea of like you got to work out to make sure you stay fit, or like continuously doing like skincare. Some people do like facials and stuff, like yada yada yada. But all these little things that add up, and you're like, oh my goodness, like this is so much. But you really have to enjoy it because once you reach a certain level, let's say you get everything that you wanted, that you're in high demand in your said profession, you're still going to have to do those same exact things to maintain it. So why not get used to enjoying it now while it's like at a smaller scale than later on when it's in a bigger scale. Another example is I'm traveling a lot for what I'm doing. So like I was in New York and then now I'm going to Chicago, and you know, you may think like, oh, this is so much traveling, or I'm so tired and having to navigate school and work and like putting my schedule together to make sure that I'm not behind on anything, and still like putting in the time to practice, putting in the time to network with photographers and agents and yada yada yada. And it's like, okay, well, I'm doing it at a smaller scale. And if I'm getting like a little stressed out about how small this is, like imagine if I were to get like literally everything that I wanted right at the second, and I'm having to fly out like all the time, and I haven't built that relationship with my manager or my employer to understand like, hey, I'll be out for this time, and like we'll be able to like set time aside. Like for instance, like if I'm traveling, I'll kind of move my schedule around and be like, hey, I won't be able to clock in the morning, but I'll make sure to log in for the rest of the night. And on Saturday, as long as I get like all my hours and like do everything that I need to get done, then it's fine. But if I were to all of a sudden always be booked and busy, I mean, of course I want that. Of course everyone wants that. But like all of a sudden, at the snap of your finger, I am booked and busy all the freaking time, I might explode from how stressed I am because I'm not able to handle it. But if I'm able to handle the small things and it grows gradually, then my, I almost said resilience, that is not the word, my tolerance for it also begins to gradually rise, right? Like you're not going to tell someone like go run a marathon if they've never ran a mile. It's such a weird thing to be like, oh, look at me, like I'm an adult now, like I'm thinking logically, not that I wasn't before, but it's really hard to really see it until like you're in it. And yesterday I was watching an interview about Brittany Broski, love her, and she was talking about how like she was posting on YouTube and TikTok and mostly for fun. Like she was making sure that she was doing it for her, but also like she knew like for her to get to the next step, this is what she needed to do. And how she was like, you know what, if I get 1 million subscribers on YouTube or something like that, then she knows she made it. Or like I think maybe it was TikTok, whatever the medium is. And sorry, that was one. And once she made it, it was like, oh, like okay, she just has to keep doing exactly what she's been doing from the beginning. And now she's like, of course, reaping the rewards, but it's like once you get it, nothing really changes. Maybe like the things that you're receiving, but as far as the work you have to put in, nothing changes. And if it does changes, you probably have to do a little more until you get to the point where you can like relax. You don't have to do as much. Like for instance, like if I become like, I don't know, famous isn't really my concern, but I want to like really do good in this job, in this career. And let's say I get to a really high point where I don't even have to go to castings. And of course, like the work I have to put into like castings, I can, I don't have to worry about that anymore compared to now where it's like I have to put my all into it because I'm up against so many people. But then let's say I'm now at that time focusing on, I'm trying to, I'm literally spitballing right now. Like I didn't even like think about this before I like turned this camera on, but well, fully thought it out. But then it's like okay, well, now I have to think about like elevating what I've been doing into something more. And then maybe that's like something entirely different. Maybe that's like at a global scale versus where I'm more like regional, or like I want to be like wanted and demanded in a city. Like let's say LA, like I really want to be like booked and busy in LA. And then it's like, okay, I want to be booked and busy in all of the US and in the world and blah, blah, blah. Like it always, your goals always like grow bigger, and of course like the work you have to put in, it's like it's different, but then the things that you used to have to work really hard for set you up in the future for the things you don't have to work as hard for. And it's like, ugh, girl, like you're preaching to the choir, like we all freaking know this, but it's just nice to feel it and not just like hear it and then like roll your eyes. And I hope you guys, you know, are taking what I'm saying to heart, because I did not always feel this way. There was a point in time where I was like about to give up, and I was like, you know what, what's for me would come for me, and clearly it doesn't want me, right? And I had to like really evaluate my life and be like, okay, let's be honest. You've been putting a lot of effort into other aspects of your life. And yes, like some people don't have to work as hard for it. Like it just fell in their lap. And then now they're like in Milan, but there's things that fell in my lap that they probably couldn't even fathom or they didn't get. And it's like, okay, do not compare your path to others, because I don't know what hasn't come easy to them. Maybe that's the one thing that worked out for them. Maybe everything works out for them. It doesn't matter. It's none of my concern. But I was really that's going to like give up to say, but nonetheless. But I had prayed about it, and I said like, okay, I need my trip to New York, which was for IMTA. If you guys have seen that video, you can watch it. And I said, I need this to like prove to me, and like I'm not saying like take off from there, but I need to prove to me to continue what I'm doing, that like what I'm doing is actually working and I'm not just pouring water into a strainer, pretty much like useless. And I did really good there. I was signed with the agency when I left. I won a lot of competitions, which is validating. I'm not gonna lie. It's valid. Was it like runner up? Like yeah. But I learned so much. I got a lot of input on my portfolio and like me overall that I'm like taking in and working on, and like at least making strides for like a plan to like work on it. And it just like showed me like, okay, what I'm doing is working, because in order for me to have done good at IMT, I needed to do X, Y, and Z, right? And then now it's like in order for me to get, I love using this X, Y, elemental P, I need to do, I don't know, EDF, ABCDE. Ooh, okay. Clearly, I don't know my alphabet, so don't quote me. But I got the reassurance I needed. But sometimes you already know. It's just that we have a desire to get external validation, and that can kill your joy, and that can kill your progress and your persistence. And hold on. I've also been reading Think and Grow Rich, right? You guys, it's a self-help sensation. At least that's what it says here. And honestly, it's a manifestation book for the finance pros. That's all it is. That is all that it is. It tells you about how you have to believe it first before you see it, before you feel it. You have to be like persistent. You have to it's like the same thing that I see like when I watch like my manifestation and my, not necessarily astrology girls, but like in that realm, it's the same thing, but for finance pros. I'm telling you. And of course he uses like real world examples, and like he talked about like Henry Ford, he talked about other men. Hey. He talked about Muhammad, yeah, from Islam too, like briefly, and he does talk about God in there, like not in the sense of like, oh, he's trying to change you, but at least of seeking like a higher power, a higher being than yourself. And he like briefly touched on it, but I just let you guys know and stuff. But and even in that book, I just finished a chapter about persistence and how the only ooh, the only thing that's going to get you to your desires is being persistent. And like this is what I'm doing, like being persistent. It's like doing the small things. It all adds up. It's like snowballing. And it's really nice to read it, to hear it from like Brittany Broski, and then to like see it and feel it within myself. So just like throwing that out there. Also, if you have the time, like really read Think and Grow Rich. And now that I think about the title, Think and Grow Rich. He's literally saying, if you think you're gonna be rich, if you think or imagine or manifest, then you will be. That is the book. I just summarized everything for you. Now he's gonna get into the nitty gritty of like kind of how to do that, but that is the book. It is manifestation. But I'm gonna continue to soak my feet and then say goodbye to my family. And I'm gonna hit the road. And I will see you guys either in the car in Chicago, whichever I feel. I'm not sure if I want to film in the car, but okay. See you guys soon.